3-point lead for Philippine Airforce now.
Good first ball, Casino. Fantastic set to Ramirez. Blocked again. That's 3 straight points now for Ateneo.
Waligyawe gets the job done, and the point for IEM.
Good blocking again from the Navy.
Dayan Dante, setup job for Solis. He goes to zone 6.
Second set point saved by Santa Elena. Mangulabnan sets this one up.
From 24 teams, we are down to our final 8. This is the quarterfinals of the 2019 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and we have a doozy of a matchup today. The PLDT home fiber power hitters coming up against the Philippine Air Force Jet Spikers. I'm Paulo Del Rosario alongside Chino Sumagaysay, and when we were talking about the Air Force a while ago, we were mentioning that it is so impressive for them to be here at this stage, as dominant as they have been this conference, despite losing some key pieces before this conference even started.
That's correct. You know, the piece that you mentioned is, of course, that's Brian Bagunas, who was not able to play for this conference. But looking back past 2 conferences ago, Philippine Air Force won the championship even without Bagunas, and everyone on the side of Jet Spikers really stepped up, you know, every time.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now at the playoff bracket that we have for you. Now, the Philippine Air Force with the twice-to-beat advantage after finishing the top of their group. And, of course, PLDT home fiber power hitters. Well, they may have the disadvantage, but they will be up for the fight. Should they get through, they will face off against Santa Elena Ball Hammers and the IEM Phoenix Volley Masters, whoever comes away from that series. So it will be tough no matter what. So let's take a look at the PLDT team record right now. And PLDT obviously not happy to have finished second place in their pool. What did you see from their performance there?
You know, that's correct. Although they were able to end all their games victorious, including that previous game, you know, it's more challenging for them, you know, testing their identity, testing their teamwork, especially for this match.
And for the Air Force, impressive conference so far, but still a lot of work to be done. And just watching them in their pool, they felt like they were a step ahead.
That's correct. You know, Air Force able to shut down, you know, other teams from their pool, demonstrating prowess in every match. You know, considered, you know, that last game against Ateneo where it ended 5 sets, and they won that game.
Well, Air Force looking to progress to the semifinals, and PLDT looking to extend the series. We'll have the first set when we return.
Presenting our officials for this match. First referee, Bob Moleno, National Referee. Second referee, James Oliver Mora, National Referee. Let's now meet the starting six from the Philippine Air Force. Go for gold. Let's start off with the team captain, jersey number 17, Airman Second Class Jesse Lopez. At number 2, Francis Philip Saura. Number 7, Airman Second Class Rodolfo Labrador. Jersey number 8, Kim Malabunga. At number 10, Fauzi Ismail. And number 11, Airman Second Class Alnakran Abdilia. With liberos, number 3, Staff Sergeant Rafi Moswela, and number 14, John Mariano Sumagi. Mentored by their head coach, Staff Sergeant Dante Alinsunurin. Let's now meet the starting lineup from the PLDT Home Fiber Power Hitters. Let's start off with the game captain, jersey number 6, Ronchet Lee Villegas. Number 2, Richard Solis. Number 7, JV Sumagaysay. At number 8, Mark Alfafara. Number 9, Paolo Pablico. And number 14, Lloyd Josafat. With liberos at number 12, Renzi Melgar, and number 18, Gilbert Longabella, mentored by their head coach, Oji Mamon. This is match number 62, quarterfinals match from Group 2. Good luck to both teams.
Welcome to the quarterfinals of the Spiker Surf Open Conference. Here is how the Air Force Jet Spikers line up for their game here. They have the twice to beat advantage and no surprises in that lineup. And here are the PLDT Home Fiber Power Hitters as well. Again, big moment for them in terms of PLDT trying to get over the hump, which is their disadvantage here. They need to beat Air Force twice, and for a team that hasn't lost the entire conference so far, it'll be a tough task for PLDT to get over the undefeated Air Force. I'm Paolo De Rosario alongside Sheila Salaysay, bringing this one for you, and we have a doozy here. And Sheila, what can you expect from the PLDT, knowing that they need to get over this Air Force team?
Well, first you have to recognize that Coach Oji Mamon has a different starting six, you know, filling in Solis and Josafat for this set. And that these guys, although a bit of inconsistency, you know, in their previous game, they just need to be, you know, have those defense like what we've seen earlier, and of course organized floor on the floor as well.
Well, defense getting the job done there for PLDT for their very first point. And we were talking a bit about the tendencies of how this team plays in general a while ago, Sheila. And you're mentioning about how this is a group that actually does their scoring by committee. And even though we have those big names in that team, a lot of people contribute all across the roster.
Well, of course, one of the guys that they expect, you know, to deliver for this game, you have Mark Alfafara and Paolo Pablico. They have been really, you know, these two guys consistently pitching in points for PLDT. Great start for PLDT. That's already 3 straight points.
Well, PLDT definitely getting to the harder start here. Again, Air Force with the twice to beat advantage. And you can be sure that hindi kampante yung Air Force in this game, but they're up against a team that with their backs against the wall, and that's when they could be most dangerous.
That's correct. You know, they have never been very complacent in every game. Though may nawawala sa kanila, may nagfi-fill in dun sa mga nawawala, and that's the advantage naman of Coach Dante Alinsunurin.
Air Force getting their first point. Getting the points off the block there. And Abdilia with the serve. Oh, and that is an ace. Back-to-back points for him here.
No, Abdilia in their previous game against Ateneo, he was able to do 6 points from the service area alone.
Abdilia is easily one of the bigger guns of the Air Force. He's had a fantastic conference so far. Solis will try to get that off the block. Unable to push through there, but second time he does.
No, he found a gap in between Labrador and Saura in that last play. Akala nila ibibigay ni Villegas sa gitna. But that was a good decision for Solis to hit that down the line.
Richard Solis had 31 spikes at the end of the preliminary stages. So we all know that he has that power. Tafara with a strong serve there, but a good reply coming from the Air Force.
The lack of anticipation on the side of PLDT between Josaphat and Pablico.
He's gonna look at that one. And there's a little miscommunication you mentioned a while ago. And Air Force slowly getting into this game as well. They only trail by 1 now. Pablico trying off speed, doesn't work. PLDT with another chance here. They go to the other side and that doesn't fall.
Her decision for Solis to hit that off speed, tatlo yung nasa harap niya. But although he had a good intention in mind, kinulang lang yung atake na yun.
Tied ball game now, 4 apiece early on in the first frame. Pablico goes up.
Abdilia surprised with that attack, and he admitted that right away.
Let's take a look at that one more time. Pablico, one of the most dangerous, rather the most dangerous offensive weapon of PLDT this conference. Very impressive for them as PLDT not an ace.
It's the first ball of Air Force having problems at this part of the first set.
Lloyd Josaphat with an ace. That's his 5th for the entire tournament. Good hit there and killing it in the middle.
You know, that's a lucky break for Philippine Air Force. You know, you have Kim Malabunga. Pag regalo yan, he'll surely take advantage.
11 points last time around for Malabunga in their last game, going up against Ateneo de Manila University. Chance for PLDT to answer back. And Solis finding his rhythm here.
Although Sumanggi is already there, and attempt to get that check ball, hindi niya naabot eh.
Well, 2-point lead now for PLDT. They started out the hotter of both teams so far, but Air Force still breathing down their necks.
Another poor reception.
Still able to push that, unable to get that through, so the point will go to PLDT to take us to our first technical timeout. They lead by 3.
Yes, sa opensa, wala tayong receive. Importante, mayangat mo na maayos sa taas. Ha? Ilang naman yun. Yung blocking naman, hanggang ngayon, bakit dalawa, taas nyo lang yung kamay nyo, pasok ko lang, huwag lang mag-wave-wave. May depensa naman tayo eh. Dalawa kayo eh. O, kaya dalawa, ginawa mo pa yung cross-court. O, di nagpatong lang yung kamay nyo dalawa. Ha? O, sige.
Welcome back to the Paco Arena, where PLDT have a 3-point lead over the Air Force. And we were talking a while ago, just a bit off the air, that there is a bit of a libero shuffle for the Air Force, and that has shown early on here in the game that not necessarily the top choice so far. But what a reply there from Malabunga.
That's correct. Well, now for Philippine Air Force, you have Sumanggi as the first libero and Rafi Musuela. But look at that running attack by Kim Malabunga.
Kim Malabunga starting to heat up as well here. PLDT will try to answer that. Pablico blocked there. Can they save it? Not this time.
So you can see how high Pablico can jump. Tumama yung bola niya sa kamay mismo ni Kim Malabunga.
Take a look at that again, and just to let everyone know, maliit po si Pablico.
Yes.
But he can jump that high. He can get that type of elevation. One more time for Pablico.
But this time, he took advantage that Jesse Lopez is the smaller blocker here. That's why he hit that down the line.
2-point lead now for PLDT after that one. Pablico a product of Ilocos, and gets an ace there.
It has been the problem for Philippine Air Force na hindi sila makakuha ng magandang first ball.
Air Force obviously have to address that here early. No one in their team is receiving the ball well, and as I say, that's actually a good first ball and a good hit.
You know, the problem with PLDT pagdating sa blocking, they don't expect a running attack or a running attack or a be quick attack. Kaya naiiwan sila lagi dito ni Kim Malabunga.
Malabunga. Apafara, a lot of power and the point.
Well, Saura was deceived by the middle attacker from that fake by Sumagaysay, and Jesse Lopez alone attempted to defend the net. But you know, Alfafara hits loaded.
Going one-on-one with him is not a fun thing to do. Oh, and what a strike back for the Air Force.
You know, ang galing ni Sumagaysay that he was able to put his hands up in front of his face. Kasi kung hindi, I'm sure that would be a facial.
Let's take a look at that one more time. Powerful hit there, Sumagaysay. Just doing enough to protect that face.
Right.
Apafara, one more time. Good blocking there.
Well, almost, it looks like it was almost out. Jesse Lopez, iniwasan talaga. But that attack from the opposite found the line.
3-point lead for PLDT. Villegas to serve. Air Force now trying to reply.
But there was
asking for check ball,
yes,
and they get it.
That's correct. There was a touch. And again, nahihirapan si Jesse Lopez dito to create plays because of, poor first balls.
Take a look at that one more time. And there's the check. Apafara sends that long, so point will go to the Air Force.
No, that's a good idea to have a combination play, though. Medyo na-delay lang yung pumatong dun sa play na yun, and that ball went out.
Well, Sheila, this is what we expected from this game. Close so far, and this is a sign of what we're going to have for the rest of the afternoon. We may be in for a very long one here.
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
Ranabilia. Unable to save that on about PLDT, so Air Force gets one to the ace.
Well, if there's one department that Abilia is good at, that would be the service line.
Ranabilia, gets that through, and that's another ace for him.
So that's a lucky break for Ranabilia.
Ranabilia had 15 aces in the preliminary stages, so he's building on that here.
That is why he's the skill leader in that department. That's 4 straight aces for Ranabilia.
Well, and because of that PLDT call for time, they just can't receive these balls. Let's listen in.
Walang puwersa, walang base. Ha? Paulit-ulit to sinasabi, ang malakas yan, yung gitna at saka yung kanan. Kanina ang pwesto mo, nakapasok ka dun. So may halos zone to ka na.
Let's go, Bas.
Kaya mo yan, kaya mo yan.
Let's take a look at that one more time. Ranabilia making PLDT pay from the service line. Multiple aces, back to back to back to back.
That's correct, yes, apat. No, Coach Oji.
5 aces already.
Yeah, that's the 5th one. Sure serve for Abilia this time.
Solis, lots of power on that one. Nothing they can do to save that.
Now that's a strong attack. Well, a good cross-court hit from Solis And Sumangi still, trying to find his groove when it comes to the digs and receptions.
If you're PLDT, do you at this point do you already see that as a potential weakness for Air Force that you can exploit? And as I say that, Air Force strike back. Well, I'll let you answer that, Sheila, after this technical timeout. Air Force now lead by 3, 16-13 here at the Paco Arena. Let's take a look at how we got to that point. Powerful hit off the block there to send us to our second technical timeout.
Doon lang tayo. Anong play mo? Iwawan mo lang yan o i-up mo? Kaya mo dito ha. Huwag mo bababaan yung kay Pao.
Side out agad ha. PLDT home!
Welcome back to the Paco Arena, where Air Force have a 3-point lead over the PLDT home fiber. Air Force have the twice-to-beat advantage here in our quarterfinal matchup. It is the first game between these two. Potentially, there could be a second one. And that one off the blocker, so PLDT turned the deficit to just 2. The Sapat with the point.
Well, if PLDT able to finish this match, win against the Philippine Air Force, there would be another game. But too early to tell.
Absolutely, as PLDT exploit a gap in the middle.
That is Ismael Fauci. The backup of Ran Abdilia. Last game against Ateneo, he made 27 big points.
PLDT sends that through, and good blocking for Pablico. Again, not the tallest guy on the court, but he can get up there.
That's correct, but Kim Malabunga, hindi maganda yung approach na dun sa running attack. Nakita mo, it was easy for Pablico to read.
Well, you mentioned that a while ago na nahihirapan yung PLDT defending running attack. So let's see whether or not that changes here. Oh, a little misdirection there. Meeting at the net, Pablico goes up and gets to the ball first.
That's a clever move by Pablico to just find an open spot sa court ng Philippine Air Force.
Take a look at that. Lopez went up to get it as well, but Pablico, first man through it, sees the open spot and gets the point.
Well, Ismael already waiting, for a set. Ang layo na niya eh.
Oh, and an ace this time. PLDT rallying back to tie the ball game.
And we can expect more of these exchanges for the whole match.
So Air Force obviously still struggling with their libero at the moment, unfortunately for him. And something that they might feel they have to address as another ace after the ball hits the tape and just sinks through.
Papansin mo, there's two teams getting more points from the service areas. Richard Solis already had 2 aces. First set pa lang.
Richard Solis. Oh, and it's another ace. Again, problems with the libero. They will change now. Masuela will come in next up. But Air Force now call for time. Let's listen in.
Huwag kang magalit kasi ginagawa nila, nilalakasan ng service nila. Okay? Ang sinasabi ko lang sa'yo, pre, nandun ang maliit, maximize natin. Kapag lumabang tayo ng 4-5, sige, puno ng backline tayo. Okay? Wala yung target natin eh. Wala tayong magagawa dyan, wala tayong receive. Importante lang, maka-adjust tayo. Okay, mag-adjust lang. Dalawa lang naman yan. Okay.
Well, they've been hearing what we've been saying and saying that reception is a problem. Let's take a look at that one more time, as that one, a bit of luck there as it hits the tape and pulls through. And here is what we were talking about. Having a hard time receiving is the Philippine Air Force, and PLDT have been feasting on them in that department.
Well, we have to recognize that Sumangi was not the first libero that started this conference. He has always been the backup. The first libero was Rico Marmeto, who is not playing. We haven't seen him for the past 3 games, I believe, for Philippine Air Force. That's why Ravi Musuelo was converted into a defense specialist.
Obligo trying off speed there, doesn't get it through. Oh, and that one straight to the net. Point goes to PLDT.
Too low for Ran Abdilia, just hitting that towards the net. And ang laking factor na hindi makagawa ng magandang pasa itong Philippine Air Force, as they cannot really convert to a point.
A PLDT with all the momentum here sends that long.
And you can see Ismael Fauzi's reaction. Nakahinga siya ng maayos after avoiding the ball.
Team Malabungas had a good game so far. And that one is good for the Air Force.
Aggressive at the net for Ran Abdilia. Although it was a soft touch, but again, he just returned the favor that PLDT did earlier.
Alfara.
Saura has to recognize that Alfara is already in front. Siyempre, siya ang percentage attacker. Nakita mo, if they were too late to block Alfara.
And noticeably late, that was even close. Magaysay with the serve. Lopez will set that up. Finding Abdilia.
Abdilia was way over, Villegas and Josafat in that last play.
So we are looking at these two teams, and they don't necessarily have their first choice player starting, as Alfafara gives them back the lead. We noticed a while ago that PLDT started a different 6, but Alfafara, one of the regulars here, showing off.
That's right. Another problem for Philippine Air Force is their defense, lalo na pag nag-check yung bola when PLDT attacks.
Air Force trying to strike back. Not this time. Going to the right side, getting the point, and another point to the lead.
So the difficulty for Philippine Air Force this time is their defense, and that's why PLDT getting those attacks and opting to hit down the line.
Villegas. Better there for the Air Force, scoring off the block. They trail by 1. Well, this is tight here at the end of the first set. Again, if this is a sign of things to come, boy oh boy, we could be in for a long one here.
Totally agree with you on that. And that last attack is Labrador, who also created 9 as Abdilia gets his 6th service ace.
Again, Abdilia only had 15 throughout the tournament so far, and he could, well, meet at more than a half of that here in this game in the first set. Let's listen in the timeout.
Umapat na kayo. Kaya naman ang apat yan. Sige, dito ka lang, Nok. Ha?
Sumagat tayo sa gilid para ano.
Ikaw to, di ba? Pau!
Sa gilid Usap na. Sabi pag siya.
I-receive natin. Apat na kayo. Ha?
Sarado mo na yung nag-i-straight na target yan.
Ran Abdilia has been the guy for the Air Force, especially the service line. Already 6 aces to his name. And a good serve set that up for the Air Force.
But a violation was called against Villegas.
Take a look at that. See if there is a violation there, and maybe just according to the umpire.
Well, Villegas committed illegal screening in that last sequence.
Oh, Ran Abdilia, another powerful serve. He's really feeling it today. Unable to save that. Labrador, good effort, but we end up tied up at 24 all.
First set pa lang, it is really tight for these two teams. One good pass and you have Alpha Para for PLDT serving.
And we all know what a powerful serve he has. Oh, but Air Force get the advantage.
And you have to credit Rafi Mosuela for a great reception, allowing Jesse Lopez to give that back wake set to Francis Saura.
Saura with the serve there. Air Force save it. PLDT attack through the middle, but Air Force save it once again. Desperation stuff there. Pablico, not this time.
Resiliency on the net defense for Philippine Air Force.
We have a good rally in our hands here. Pablico one more time. Stopped at the net. From the back row.
You know, but that is 4 straight blocks for Philippine Air Force. The last one, medyo lumayo lang. Lumayo lang doon si Labrador. If you look at this replay, and Alpha Para just hit that towards the Labrador's hands.
Well, nothing you can do to stop that one. We're tied up at 25 all again. Who will get the advantage here? Lopez sets that up. Good blocking there. One more time in the same area. Finds the gap in the middle.
Well, I like how Fauzi able to see that donut in the middle. It's not just about power, but you know, that's a really brilliant off-speed attack.
You know, Campo and Gompong will check in next. Let's take a look at that. Finding the hole in the middle there. The proverbial donut.
Yeah.
Chance now for the Air Force to take the first set. De Ocampo checked in, served this one. Farah, better there from the Air Force. Can they steal the first frame? From the back row. Oh, but the referees will have to talk this over.
Well, as they are contesting that Iran Abilia stepped on the attack line. That's an illegal back row attack.
Well, they rule it in favor of PLDT. Let's take a look at that one again,
Yeah.
and there it is. It's a game of inches.
He stepped on the line.
26 all. And what a game we have for you so far. This is just the first set.
Very exciting at the onset, but still this time, Philippine Air Force has, you know, the advantage if they can get one good pass, which they did.
Oh, and nothing stopping that one, no doubt.
No, that's one good character of Philippine Air Force. You know, they get more intense, mas ginaganahan, and you saw that from that combination play. Again, this time it's Fauzi Ismail ending that rally.
Well, there was no doubt that that point will go to Air Force there. Serving for the set, Ismail. Oh, and there you have it. First frame goes to Air Force, 28-26. We said we were in for a doozy, and the first set delivered.
You know, one error is very costly, and that happened really at the last part of that first set, which, you know, that gave advantage to Philippine Air Force.
And if you are PLDT, you would feel that you had so many chances to win that first frame. But it was the Air Force who came away with a victory there, piling on the pressure even more to PLDT. Let's see what happens in the second frame. Welcome back to the Paco Arena after what was a highly entertaining first set. Sheila, the numbers that stand out for you here.
You can see it's all about aces, you know, in the first set. It was an exchange of service aces from these two teams. Attacks are there, but there's only, you know, two advantages more for Philippine Air Force. And you can see the errors. They are able to minimize and lessen their errors. But for Philippine Air Force, they have to improve on their receptions and digs. Kasi yun ang tinitake advantage ng PLDT.
Well, we were talking about the aces a while ago, and for the Air Force, one man provided all six
Right, totally.
of those aces, and that is Ranan Abdilia. As Lopez sends that long. We were talking about aces and errors a while ago, and we got an error first instead of an ace.
Well, that's not a good start, though, for Philippine Air Force.
Well, Air Force actually started out slower between the two teams as PLDT came out running out of the gates. And medyo mabagal yung simula ng Air Force, but eventually found the rhythm and they were unstoppable in the middle. As Air Force sends that wide.
You know, very similar with how they started in the first set. Committed back-to-back errors. You know, if you can remember, it was 3-0 to start off the first set advantage for PLDT.
Villegas with the serve. Labrador.
You know, Labrador, every time Jesse Lopez gives him the ball, it's a sure point for Philippine Air Force.
Labrador had 9 points last time around in a 5-setter against Ateneo. But again, a service out for Air Force. A slow start. One more time here for the boys in white as PLDT will try to take advantage here. Mark Alfafara on the service line. We all know his booming serves. Oh, and that just sneaks through.
Yeah, Abdilia and Saura just look at each other, you know, not anticipating a loaded serve for Malik Alfafara.
Well, hit the tape there and then snuck through to the corner. Let's see how he builds on that one. 4-1 right now in favor of PLDT. Alfafara.
Well, that's a great reception for Sumangi.
And Ismail going up there to trim the deficit.
You know, that's why Jesse Lopez's role becomes a bit easier because, you know, you have Ismail, Fauzi Ismail also delivering from the open.
Francis Saura. Villegas sets that up. Pablico blocked by 2.
And finally, Kim Malabunga getting a point from that block. Alam mo, kanina pa si Kim Malabunga, he has been very diligent in defending the net.
Villegas sets that up. They go back to Pablico this time. Oh, they're going to double check that. Point will go to PLDT. So 5-3 right now in favor of PLDT over the Air Force. As Air Force having a hard time getting going here. Now a 3-point lead for PLDT.
You know, that combination play didn't really work well for Labrador. But this is also what happened, you know, in first set. PLDT taking the upper hand, but slowly Air Force was able to cope.
Well, a bit of a diesel start for the Air Force, but that should help them as Sumagaysay sends that long.
Well, too strong to begin for Sumagaysay. We've seen him, his first appearance here.
Goal for Labrador. Villegas sets it up again. Alfafara.
Delayed reaction that time for Sumangi.
There's also the speed that he has when he runs up and jumps. Sometimes it's just so difficult to react to it.
And that is a strategy this time of Coach Oji Mamon, having Solis inside together with the other guys. Kaya mas gusto niya mabibilis na play. Ismail mishitting the ball. Another error for Philippine Air Force.
8-4 right now in favor of PLDT. Off to a hot start here in the second frame. We'll be right back.
Hayaan nyo na may babawan si Ben.
Di ba? Ay, yung pattern natin dito, yung straight, dalawa yung didepensa dyan, ha?
Depensa kayo kayo.
Tapos kayo,
Hayaan nyo ibabawan si Ben.
ikaw boy, kung di ka tutulong sa black, yung extreme na court doon, yung cross court doon, ha?
Sige. Pre, ingat tayo ha. Kumapasok ng panela sa ilalim. Pre, alaga tayo sa lamang. Tuloy lang.
Tuloy lang, Chard. Puputulin yung ano natin.
Let's go. Hey, PLDT!
Well, PLDT with the advantage here, 8-4 over the Air Force after another slow start for the boys in white. But it never got this bad in the sense that Air Force were giving too many errors early in that first frame. Looks like they didn't come out of the break feeling as great as they should. And sending that wide again. Air Force struggling here.
Now, Air Force has to regroup and also make adjustments, especially on their first balls. Kanina pa yun nangyari, giving 2 easy points. Umpisa pa lang.
Sending that long, Air Force have a chance to get themselves back in this. Air Force trailing by 4. It's a 9-5 lead for PLDT. Just saving that. Here's a chance for the Air Force. Abdilia. Oh, and it's a net touch there for the Air Force. Frustration for Malabunga.
You know, he already saw that ball crossing, a regalo, but that too aggressiveness, allowed him to commit that violation.
5-point lead for PLDT, 10 serving 5. Abdilia off speed.
Well, a smart move from Ranran Abdilia. Well, PLDT already expecting, a loaded attack coming from him. But this is what you like about Ran Abdilia. Nakikita niya talaga yung open areas. Alam niya kung kailan nahatawin at mag-drop. But another net violation committed by Philippine Air Force. This time, it's a Francis Saura.
Well, Sumagay's side would not be denied either way as PLDT now up 11-6 here at the Paco Arena. Again, it is Air Force with a twice-to-beat advantage, so PLDT fighting for their lives here. Abdilia getting the Air Force back on board.
Abdilia so pumped up, and this guy every time. He's always committed kapag naglalaro. That's why he's the go-to guy of Jesse Lopez.
Villegas sets that up again. Josafat almost unable to get that through. Afafara off speed, the blocking stayed in the air long enough.
And that's also what other team members of Philippine Air Force are doing, taking accountability for their part. And you saw that Francis Saura at the net.
Jesse Lopez with the serve there. PLDT trying to stop the Air Force, and nothing would stop that one.
Mark Alfafara with a loaded attack. Nahuli din yung blockers ng Philippine Air Force, and Sumangi was not able to see that.
Go to Labrador. Labrador sends that long.
Labrador is slow in that approach. Kaya naman pag tama ng kamay niya sa bola, it just went long.
We were mentioning how in the first frame both teams were playing exceptionally well, but it's PLDT who's carried that here so far. Air Force trying to answer back. Labrador gets a second chance at it.
And another thing that you like about Philippine Air Force, when they get, an error once, they really wanted to come back, makabawi agad.
And another ace from Abdilia. Boy, oh boy, he's just doing it from the service line, keeping the Air Force in this game.
That would be his 7th for this match.
make that 8. My goodness, Ranan Abdilia. Eight service aces, 13-11 right now. PLDT still with the lead, but Abdilia doing it all from the service line, sends that straight to the net. Well, 2 aces, not a bad return from that sequence from Abdilia. Now 14-11 in favor of PLDT. Alfafara now will try to reply. Boy, good first ball there as Ismael with off speed, good save. Good blocking this time coming from the Air Force.
The first time around, Melgar was able to cover that ball, pero ang bagal niya tumayo, and that allowed, giving Air Force and giving PLDT that open space, kaya naman walang nag-cover in that last attack.
Francis Saura with the serve there. PLDT, Villegas with the set. They go to Pablico, and he does well there off the blockers.
Transition this time for Philippine Air Force. Abdilia masyadong nakapasok dito sa backcourt, kaya nahirapan siyang kunin yung check ball.
Roy Josafa did not play in the last game. A lot of trust placed on him by Coach Oji Mamon. And Labrador trimming into the lead of the PLDT. It's 15-13 right now, still in favor of the black shirts. So Air Force playing catch up here, but breathing down their necks now. Labrador meeting at the net there. Point will go to the Air Force after a net touch.
Well, another violation committed by Villegas the second time around. One in the first set, one in the second set. That's illegal screening.
Oh, legal screening, yes, rather.
Yes. He's a back row setter. He tried to get that second ball. Good defense.
Blocking there. Triple block one more time, and this time Pablico scores off it. 16-14 will send us to our second technical timeout, but Air Force not giving up here. They trail by 2.
Gaganin ang palo mo. Distansya lang.
Pre, laga tayo.
Basta may tempo. Kahit hindi ka papakainin ng bola, basta makapapasama ka. Ha?
Welcome back to the Paco Arena. Air Force and PLDT battling out here. Air Force with twice the beat advantage, but trail by 2 here in the second frame. And PLDT making a host of changes here. Then Dante will come in as well as Umandal. And there are other big names in PLDT that we haven't seen here. Jamitic Guzman, one of them. And could you explain the thinking of Coach Oji Mamon here to make sure that in his selection of his players here?
We've been talking about that off-air because the regulars of Coach Oji did not start, and it's a strategic, I have to say, kasi pag si Villegas, more of fast plays siya, and together with Solis, Sumagaysay, Umandal, ano yan, buka. It means mataas yung set together with Dayan Dante. And knowing that they are going up against a more veteran team, syempre, advantage dahil mas mabibilis sila.
Absolutely. So 3-point lead now for PLDT. Then Dante. Malabungas at sada for Ismael. Ismael can't get that through. Pablico one more time off the blockers.
This time it's the back row defenders of Philippine Air Force having a tough time.
Well, they call for time as they trail by 4. They have a chance to come back here in the second frame, but have to make changes.
Lang yung nandito sa atin, gawa mo natin ng paraan.
nagkakaintindihan. Ito lang yung ngayon natin dito tayo makareceive. O kailangan natin mag-adjust. Trabahuin natin ang depensa natin. 'Di ba? Ang dami nating nahuhuli pero hindi natin nako-convert. Ngayon, kung hindi tayo makareceive, tsatsagain lang natin. Dahan-dahanin lang natin. Wala tayong magagawa. Okay? Pero kailangan mag-adjust. 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 O, sige.
Kailangan mag-adjust. Sheila, what do they need to adjust?
You know, one thing, dahil hindi sila makagawa ng maayos na play is that may kasama ng higil uncertainty when it comes to their movements, lalo na they are down by 4 here. And that's a good thing, even though a veteran team still, you know, needed some reminders from their coaches, adjustment on the defense, lalo na pag nabablock sila.
Ismail tried to get out of the blockers, looking for a check ball, but the point will go to PLDT.
He was already off timing, ang layo nung set sa net, but then he opted to hit that strong. Pinilit pa niya.
Well, Air Force coming out second best here so far, even in energy-wise, as an ace there from Dante.
And another error, piling up this time. You know, in all aspects, defense and offense.
PLDT playing for their playoff lives here. That's better from the Air Force as they strike back.
You know, that's what happens every time they get a good pass. Jesse Lopez can be very crafty, you know. Pinaglalaroan niya yung hindi lang yung attackers na pati yung blockers ng kalaban.
Ismail. Mandal came off the bench. Unable to score there, but it'll be a free ball for the PLDT to deal with here.
Well, that's very obvious. Dante committing a violation, a lifting violation.
Well, they have a 4-point lead talking about PLDT, but Air Force, don't count them out just yet. We've seen it a while ago that they can just run over leads.
Lessen their errors could be very helpful for them at this part of the set.
Mandal, not this time. They go to Abdilia. Abdilia faced 3 blockers there. Saved. Chance again for the Air Force, but PLDT will set this up.
And a great save there by Rafi Musuela.
2 blockers, off the blockers. Mandal gets the point.
Well, Mandal testing how solid the blockers of Philippine Air Force. But he won that rally as his ball went out.
Alo Publico. PLDT lead now. They can really drive in the hammer by scoring here. Delia. Trying to save that Omandal, but unable to reach it.
Now you can see how, you know, aggressive these guys are. Kahit nasa kabilang court na, Umandal really running for the ball.
You know, I'm actually scared for when the ball goes towards our direction because they can jump over this table easy. But I don't think they can jump over us.
Jump over me.
You
Sa'yo
probably,
hindi.
not me. As Alfafara gets the point there from the cross-court hit, 21-17, make that 22-17.
This time, Alfafara again contributing from the open.
JB Sumagaysay sends that straight to the net and leaving the door open for the Air Force here.
You mentioned earlier that PLDT had a lot of opportunities in the first set, you know, to end that game. This time, you know, I may have to say the same thing. From that error, Philippine Air Force still has the chance.
Mandal goes up there. Well, Air Force had no chance to stop that.
And another thing that you would love about PLDT is that Coach Oji Mamon really has an army here. You know, everyone has their own ammo that they can fire anytime.
Well, we talked about how PLDT can score from any part of their roster, and we haven't even seen some of their bigger hitters yet.
Right.
Labrador sneaks that through.
There's always that open space at the back of the blockers for PLDT. Ang layo ni Villegas sa play na yun.
Okay, how scared are you if you're PLDT seeing Abdilia lining up to serve one more time? He has been fantastic from the service line.
You know, you can see how they are communicating right now. Kasi that has been the problem every time Abdilia is going to serve.
Oh, and good serve again, but dealt well with PLDT. Ismail!
That was just too wide for Ismail. Masyado niyang winalis yung hampas na yon and avoiding the blockers.
PLDT now at set point. Alfafara, the man tasked here with bringing them over with the serve. Alfafara, too long.
That's an error and another opportunity for Philippine Air Force.
They'll have to be perfect from the service line is Francis Saura. Villegas sets that up. Pablico unable to get past the blockers.
You know, we haven't seen much of Paolo Pablico yet.
Well, PLDT calling for time here. They need to make sure that they get everything right to secure the set.
Pag nasa gitna lang yung pasa nyo at mag-high set tayo sa dulo, nakaporma yung depensa nila sa taas at sa baba. Halino dito para mag-shoot yung bola, hayaan mong mapabilis yung takbo ng kakabola.
Huwag nyo na i-challenge yung malalaking lakad. Sige, coach.
Huwag nung madaliin yung pasa, ha? Pasa lang.
So asking them not to hurry up their passes. So trying to maintain a certain degree of cool here, knowing that they are on set point.
That is the point there. They only need one, you know, to end this set. So there's no reason for them para magpanic.
Unable to, rather finishing that is PLDT 25-21. They tied up here one set apiece after what was an explosive first frame. PLDT with a great reply here in the second set.
So Francis Sara was delayed to get to that drop ball. He already knew that there was a check, but hindi na niya kinuha.
We'll be back with the third frame here on One Sports. Welcome back to the Paco Arena. We are tied up on one set apiece between the PLDT home fiber power hitters and the Philippine Air Force Jet Spikers. It is a titanic clash we have for you here, and that set 2 was all PLDT after 11 errors plaguing the game of the Air Force in that one.
You know, that was due to their poor receptions and digs, and that's why they need to, you know, just do a bit more of adjustment when it comes to that department. Clearly, it was collapsing for the second set, and it's a domino effect. No good pass. Jesse Lopez won't be able to create plays.
Well, it was the Air Force with a clear advantage in blocking there, but then still, the number of errors that they had was just way too much. And an ace to open things up for PLDT here in the third frame. Again, they are the team with their backs against the wall with Air Force with a twice-to-beat advantage.
That's right, and again, Philippine Air Force, if they won't be able to make, you know, their defense work, that's going to be one of the deadly. You know, that will be it will take a toll on their performance for this game. Sorry.
No, that's no problem. I too was wondering where the ball went as soon as that was hit. As Air Force tied up here, one apiece. And Abdilia, the deadliest man on the service line, sends that straight to the net as I praised him profusely.
No, this part, somebody has to create that spark for Philippine Air Force. Kasi parang pati yung errors nila nagkakahawa-hawa.
And Air Force, at least in this game, has shown that they start the slower team. And even in that first frame that they won, medyo naghahabol sila nun eh. Better reply there from the Air Force as they tie it up 2 apiece.
And finally, Fauzi Ismail avoiding the blockers. Ang ganda ng cross-court attack.
Francis Saura with the serve. Pablico just tried to hook that in. Labrador blocked. Chance again for the Air Force.
No, in that last sequence, the movement of Philippine Air Force more cohesive. Mas parang kilala nila yung galaw ng isa't isa.
A better start now from the Air Force compared to a while ago. First frame, they trailed by 3-0 before they got their first point. And it was 4-0 in the second. And Air Force now with a 2-point lead, 4-2.
Although everyone was looking in position for that coverage, nobody attempted to get the ball.
Francis Saura with the serve there. He's been there for a while now. But a good reply there coming from PLDT, Richard Solis.
Well, Kim Malabunga, you can see from his face talagang gustong-gusto niyang mabantayan yung combination play na ginagawa ng PLDT.
Josafat again did not play in their last game. Better there from the Air Force.
And Fauzi making that look so easy. Hitting the ball in that right direction.
Rodolfo Labrador on the service line for the Air Force sends that in. Pablico goes up there. And there was nothing the Air Force could do to stop that. The libero, who's had a tough time early on in the game, got better, but could not do anything to stop that.
Well, Rafi Muswell already in possession, but he was even surprised, you know, sa bilis ng bola ni Paolo Pablico.
The blocking from PLDT, and Labrador wasn't sure if that was going to fall on their side.
Well, lost opportunity for Philippine Air Force. No chance na nila yun to create another play.
Well, tied up at 5 apiece now. Air Force have now lost their early advantage. It'll be PLDT's turn to try and steal it. Just finding the corner.
And that time, Jesse Lopez, pinagana ang kanyang maturity pagdating, you know, sa loob ng court. And he's just one of those setters that, you know, has a great peripheral vision.
Fauzi Ismail had 27 points the last time around against Ateneo before proceeding here Nothing they could do to save that as Labrador tried to save that with a pancake, but it was a donut.
Yes, late reaction there to get that drop. Ang taas nung kamay doon ni Sumagaysay. Labrador one step late.
Just making sure that the court is dry now. So take another look at that. Sumagaysay happy with the result of that. Still tie ball game here, 6 apiece. Also 1 set apiece here. Which team can get the advantage? We'll find out soon enough. Fara off the blockers.
I saw that ball. Galing nating umiwas na na.
That went right between us and knocked out a water bottle right in front of us. Fara, again, he is just so powerful. Loaded hits. PLDT with the lead, and they give back the advantage. It's now square at 7.
You know, that kind of situation, hindi na dapat i-allow ng Philippine Air Force to happen again. You know, Alpha Fara was left wide open. It was only Kim Malabunga tried to defend the net.
Fara almost got that off the blockers. Lopez sets it up to the other side. Adilia almost got that through, but good blocking there.
You can see good coverage that time for PLDT, but the defense of the Philippine Air Force was just right there, solid as well.
A 1-point lead after this sequence. The Air Force defense quickly sprung into action as PLDT just tried to save that. We'll take a quick break.
Black picker pa rin.
Hinintay ko.
Kaya nga, dapat tinapatan mo na siya. Tapos kakamuplin mo yung cross court. Ha? Jess, relax lang.
Sayang ako.
Kontrolin mo yung game. Masyadong mabilis yung bola mo.
Dandan na, Jess. Dandan na. na makabalik.
Okay? Sige, sige.
Welcome back to the Paco Arena, where the Philippine Air Force has a 1-point lead over PLDT in this quarterfinal matchup. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket. It is the Air Force with a twice-to-beat advantage here against over PLDT. The winner of this series will go up against the winner of Santa Elena and IEM. Alfalfara unable to get that through. Triple block again does the work, but good coverage from PLDT. Air Force, can they score here? From the side, it's too short.
Ranabilio was just too far for that drop. And you know, I like the point of Coach Dante in that last huddle. Sabi niya kay Jessie, masyadong mabilis yung sets mo. And hindi sila pwedeng sumabay sa tempo ng PLDT. PLDT plays very quick. They have to be able to control the game. And Jessie Lopez is the best person to do that, as Ran Abdilia this time gets a point from that attack.
That one off the block, and you mentioned it a while ago, PLDT is lined up to play quickly. And if you're Air Force, you cannot play into their hands.
Right.
Almost an ace there from the back.
That was just luck, I believe, for a PLDT. And Solis ready for that set from the back.
9-all right now. Villegas to serve. What can Air Force do here? What a great reply there to take back the lead.
And this time it's a better, you know, dynamics, I have to say, for Philippine Air Force. So every time may nag-error, somebody stepping up to fill in.
Abdilia. Solis. Not this time. Lopez sets that up. They go to the wing. Unable to pull that through.
You know, it could have been better if either Saura or Fauzi Ismail got that ball from the block.
Oh, referee just having a few words with Villegas. 10 apiece right now. Alfalfara on the service line. 8 attack points and a single ace to his name. Productive day so far. Would love to build on that. That one Does that sneak in? No, it does not.
Too long for Alpha Farah, and another point for Philippine Air Force. Philippine Air Force just needs to capitalize this chances that PLDT has given to them.
It's feeling a lot like that first frame as Pablico
Hit the antenna.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit the antenna, unable to get that through. It feels a bit more like the first frame where the teams were just having a hard time getting any separation. But now with a 2-point lead for the Air Force, let's see what happens here if they can extend that to 3. Pablico. Better first ball there. Air Force unable to make them pay. Pablico one more time. Off speed doesn't work.
Malabunga, you know, you can always count on him, especially at the net. Earlier, Pablico giving off a hard attack. Pero nabantayan niya this time, reading that drop ball.
Saura served that one. Pablico, they go to him again. Good blocking there, but great coverage as well. PLDT go to the other side.
Labrador was just a bit, you know, an inch far from the net. Yung liit na yon, that could be very big, especially when you are doing a triple block. Nakita yun ni Solis, and he hit that ball towards Labrador.
2-point lead for the Air Force. PLDT trying to inch even closer. Lopez with a set. Still a good save there, but no one covered.
But
but it's an overreaching?
it seems like a good ball to me. You can see here.
Take a look at that again.
Well, it's an overreaching.
Well, PLDT now trailed by just 1. Lopez sets that up. Can Air Force take that point back? Oh, and good blocking there. What a wild attack from Solis, but the blocking just too solid.
And that call against Malabunga, well, I'm pretty sure he didn't like that. Kaya naman he, you know, showed double effort that time for
Ginanahan
defense.
bigla.
Yes.
The back row, Fafara sends that straight to the net.
Well, that's just too low for Alpha Farah.
Well, Air Force now with a lot more energy, the type of energy we missed from them in that second set. And PLDT now are struggling to deal with that. Pablico trying to get that off a soft hit again. Adds power this time, but the blocking still in his way.
You know, how can you try? Diba, sirain yung solid block ng Philippine Air Force. Tatlo pa yung nasa harap mo. Look at this one. That's the third time Paulo Pablico attempted to have that defense for Philippine Air Force be destroyed.
4-point lead for the Air Force. Will go into our second technical timeout.
Nandito ka, speak ka, tapos nandito, binibitawan mo tong down. Tumayo ka na agad dapat pag swing mo, ito na agad ang blow mo, hindi ganyan. Ito. Ha?
Welcome back to the Paco Arena. Still 4-point lead for the Air Force as they look to put away the PLDT home fiber. And PLDT did very well in that second frame, taking advantage of all the errors of the Air Force. But then Air Force, building on what was the only positive part of their last frame, which was good blocking. Unfortunately, in that specific sequence, no blocking was even existing for them.
No, lack of anticipation that time for Kim Malabunga. Didn't expect that Villegas or... Yeah, that Villegas will set that one to Sumagaysay. But I like the point of Coach Dante earlier, giving instructions to Labrador. Kailangan pag nag-block, kakatabi ng antenna so there won't be no space for the spiker to hit that down the line.
Joust in the middle goes the way of PLDT. A free ball for them. Sumagaysay just hit that off, Malabunga.
Kapag hindi nakaka-receive ng maganda ang Philippine Air Force, bigla silang nade-disorganize. And you saw that from that last play, no reaction at all or delayed.
And Dante will try to trim the deficit even further. Just a 2-point lead for the Air Force. Make that 3.
Publico this time committed an error from the defense.
17-14, Air Force with the lead. Trying to drive in the hammer here. PLDT still have the chance to keep this close, but hitting it straight at the net, it doesn't even go through.
A bit of disconnection there between Sumagaysay and Dante. Masyadong mababa yung set na yon to JV Sumagaysay.
Fauzi Ismail on the service line again. Omandal.
But that was too wide. And another point that time for Philippine Air Force.
Now with a 5-point lead, PLDT call for time, trying to make sure they don't get too far away.
Play 3. Pasa mo, hindi dito lang sa zone ko. Sabi, dali mo sa dulo. Kailangan, ha? Abulin natin yan. Kunti, isang puntos. 3 puntos tayo, 1 puntos nila. Pang-abot yan.
Let's go, let's go. Abutin niya, let's go, let's go!
Well, he did the math there. For every 3 points that they make, they only score 1. So
Yes. The bottom line is they have to minimize their errors this time. But if they're planning to even try to trim the gap here, they need to double their effort.
Omandal almost catches them unprepared. Better now from PLDT. Omandal with more power. Good ball there coming from the Air Force. And that is out.
But there was a net touch.
Oh, a net touch saves PLD,
Yes.
Air Force rather.
That was called against JV Sumagaysay. Sobrang layo nung atake ni Ranram Ardilla. If you look at this replay.
And there, just a touch with his chest. And Omandal tries to pull it back, and he does.
Alam na Joshua Omandal to the rescue there. Kanina pa ito natatawagan si JV Sumagaysay.
Joshua Omandal, one of the guys that Coach Oji Mamon can turn to for scoring off the bench. Nagar, Mandal.
There was a violation committed by Philippine Air Force.
Oh, just a 4-point lead now for Air Force, and it's a very manageable one for PLDT. Let's see if they can get over it after this timeout.
Pasa lang muna, pasa ha, pasa lang muna. Okay, importante yung pasa. Set play lang, spike sa kabila, 3, di ba? Pasa lang muna, just lang muna. Huwag kayong magmadali sa ginagawa nyo. Importante, kontrolado, ha, kontrolado. Ha? Sige, ha, sige. Mga
Trying not to rush things for Philippine Air Force, and you can understand why they need that reminder, knowing that they do have it's not comfortable, but it has a potential to be.
Right.
And they need to make sure that they don't rush things against a PLDT team that can put points up in a hurry.
That's right. Well, kailangan din nila maalagaan yung lamang na yon. That's why they cannot, make things really quick. Pero that running attack was too quick for Malabungan na delayed ang blockers ng PLDT.
Better now from the Air Force. Not rushed at all in their passing and finding each other. Kim Malabunga. Afafara tried to get that off the blockers. Good coverage at the back. Oh, but that was just overset by Abdilia. Afafara feasted on that one.
So that's an enforced error opportunity na nila yon para makaplay at makapuntos. But Abdilia, although he has a good intentions to giving that ball to another attacker, pero sumobra lang.
Oh, and a bad first ball there. Let's see how the Air Force replies. Oh, and that just pushes through.
Now you can see the frustration of JB Sumagaysay as he has been really, committing a lot of errors, not only in the front but also from the back.
Well, Air Force will count themselves lucky on that point. Fafara, again, a lot of power, doing a great job there.
You know what? Lack of anticipation when it comes to the offense this time for Philippine Air Force. Nasa harap na si Mark Alfafara, so definitely, pag maganda yung reception, Dayan Dante will surely go to Mark Alfafara.
Villegas and Solis checks in now as Dayan Dante checks out. As well as Umandal. Villegas now. Oh, and a point there goes to PLDT. Too close to the net.
Poor reception. Na naman dito ang nagkakos ng errors ng Philippine Air Force, and they just really have to do adjustments. Villegas' service not that strong.
Better play there from the Air Force. What can they do here? Lopez will set that up. They go to the wing. Good job from Melgar. Alfafara can't get past the blockers. He was just too late on that hit.
If Alfafara just hit that hard, that attack strong, that ball strong, medyo may chance pa yun na hindi yun na mablock ng Philippine Air Force.
There's a wet spot on the court that they will try to dry up here. 23-19. If you're just joining us, you're watching the quarterfinals of the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2019. And what a game we have for you today. Air Force trying to make do with their twice-a-beat advantage. As Ran Abdilia sends that long. And just a while ago, he had a streak of aces. But now, a couple of errors each time he hit the service line.
Too many points already Ran Abdilia created from the service area.
PLDT trying to trim down a 3-point lead. And a poor first ball again causes Air Force to lose a point. Air Force call for time. They know that it is their problem. Let's see how they can adjust.
Importante lang tayo yung auto natin receive. Wala na akong timeout. Okay? Kaintindihan? Ha? Pato spike na natin, nasa gitna ka. Tandaan nilang, ha? O, sige, sige.
Well, burned the last time out of Coach Dante. And that's how important this is, because they have addressed it over and over during the game that they are having controlling those first balls. And even though they say that they have to adjust, so far, we haven't really seen that work on a consistent basis.
That's right. Well, I mentioned earlier yung absence ni Marmeto, the first libero of Philippine Air Force. And during, their games na siya yung naglalaro, most of the first balls or depensa ng Philippine Air Force relies on the libero. But now, they need again to make a tweaking when it comes to their defense. Hindi na nila pwedeng pabayaan or ibigay yung sole responsibility to the libero.
Air Force now have the chance to steal the set here. PLDT gets that away free. Lopez will set that up. And that will be it for our third frame. 25-21 in favor of the Air Force to take a 2-1 lead here at the Paco Arena.
That's a scary part of the set for Philippine Air Force kasi nakakapuntos kanina sunod-sunod yung PLDT. But this time, they're able to get their composure after that timeout and Kim Malabunga ending that set.
We're now going to see a test of resilience for PLDT. We'll be back with the fourth set. Well, let's take a look at the set 3 summary here as the Air Force Jet Spikers now have a 2-1 lead over PLDT. And what could be the final set of PLDT if they don't turn things around? Let's take a look at the summary here. And no ace for the Air Force that time, but then they're blocking, really making a difference.
That's correct. You know, that is their storyline for the third set. And that is courtesy, of course, of Francis Saura and Kim Malabunga actually doing, you know, their job at the net. Kaya naman nabuhay dito ang Philippine Air Force.
Chance now for the Air Force to end the conference for PLDT here. They had the twice to beat advantage, and PLDT playing for their lives. They get the first point through Umandal.
The one thing for PLDT, hindi sila madaling basahin because, you know, of the diversity of the attackers and even setters that Coach Oji Mamon has.
And what a reply there from Gampong.
This time, Mads Gampong making his presence felt from that attack. This guy also, you know, delivers for Philippine Air Force. Well, last game he just did 2 points.
Oh, meeting at the net, Ismail went up there first.
You know, I like the aggressiveness ng spikers dito ng Philippine Air Force. You have Gampong and Ismail and Ranabilla.
Ranabilla, the man you just mentioned. Another ace after a series of errors in the third set. He's back at it here in the fourth.
Well, he has to, actually not only Ranabilla, but everyone for Philippine Air Force has to go harder this time.
Air Force from the back row, good blocking from PLDT, just stuffs them.
Well, easy read there for Paolo Pablico. So dikit-dikit na yung spikers dito, si Francis Saura and Gampong. It could have been better if that was set to Fauzi Ismail.
Ismail! Boy, he put a lot of mustard on that one.
That's right, a short kill for Ismail. Look at this one, naiwan si Solis. And he just really can see where the blocker is.
Just Saura with the serve there. PLDT trying to answer back, this time off the blockers, actually off the face of an Air Force player.
You can see Paolo Pablico. Medyo nagkokonting kakaasaran sila ng konti.
Oh, a lot of emotion shown a while ago by PLDT because they know that their conference is on the line here. Gampong sends that free. And Pablico just went up there and hit it between the two blockers.
No, he has been trying to get back on track kasi kanina hindi siya masyadong makapuntos because, you know, of the solid blocks there of Kim Malabunga.
Air Force will try to receive this. Can they get a good first ball? That one's good enough. Ismail goes up there and makes them pay.
Another smart attack there from Ismail. Talagang doon niya pinadaan yung bola niya towards Villegas.
That's Gampong. PLDT set that up, but do send it too long.
This time it's again a point, a lucky break for Philippine Air Force. This allows them to build their momentum. That's why it's very important for them to have that advantage umpisa pa lang ng set.
Well, just a 2-point lead for the Air Force. Make that a 1-point lead. Our public will start to heat up here in the fourth frame.
You know, you can see how talented our spikers have from these two teams. Kahit malalaki yung blockers, they are able to penetrate, you know, their attacks and between the blockers.
Oh, Mandal getting up there, seeing the gap and exploiting it. Tied ball game now at 6 apiece.
You know, one thing that Ismail must, you know, not to do a couple of times is yung lumabas na maaga pa lang. Meaning, wala pa yung second ball, nagpe-prepare na siya to approach. Kaya walang naiwan dun sa area na yun.
Fabrico sends that long to give the Air Force a lead again. Ozzy Ismail now on the service line. Interesting to see how the Air Force approach this one, knowing that it is the closeout set for them. Good blocking there, Abdilia. Well, Abdilia Malabunga did enough there to send this game into our first technical timeout of the fourth frame. They are up by 2.
Oh. Emphasize ko lang, kailangan may pasa tayo. Ha? Yung sinulat ko kanina, kailangan yung receive, yung service naman natin, huwag nyo itapon.
Kaya kapitan tayo, dalawa lang.
Ha? Paghirapan nila yung puntos.
Pasa lang tayo, pasa. Dalawa lang yan, let's go! PLDT home!
A lot to do here for PLDT. They are down a frame, and they are down by 2 here in the fourth. Their conference is on the line. Air Force now looking to pile on the pressure.
Almost a point there. But there was a touch, clearly.
Well, Air Force gave that away. Malabunga, I think, is the culprit.
PLDT contesting kasi kanina bago mag-serve or mag-service ng Philippine Air Force, wala pa yung libero.
Well, he ran in early enough to avoid a violation, and a net touch there.
Yes, bago pa niya mataas yung kamay niya, tumama na sa ilalim. Yung kamay ni Joshua Umandal.
2-point lead again for the Air Force. PLDT just come close and then take a step back just when they feel that they could tie the game. Villegas sets that up. Better there for PLDT.
For this time, mas okay yung depensa sa likod dahil Ismail and Malabunga, both of them attempted to get that coverage. Pero hindi pa rin humabot.
Lee Villegas. His turn now. Abdilia.
But putting too much power in that attack.
Oh, with a saucy, spicy hit, Abdilia getting a 2-point advantage again for the Air Force. PLDT stopped by that block. Abdilia, one more time!
How can you control, that loaded hit every time? Lalo na ang ganda ng set dito ni Jessie Lopez.
Oh, that was another spicy hit there, sending it wide. Jessie Lopez. Air Force on a little run here and make that another point in their favor. Umandal. Masyadong gigil.
Well, this time it's PLDT committing consecutive errors.
Well, PLDT now have to find a way to collect themselves before this turns into a rout and they collapse here in the most important set of their conference.
Well, in that last sequence, the defense, the defense pattern was not ready. Di mo babasi Ran Abdilia to defend, to receive. Kaya naman, for this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, he had 15 in the preliminaries. He has 10 today. My goodness, he has been a cannon from the back. Good blocking again from the Air Force. They are on a roll.
That's an excellent block from Mads Gampong. He was delayed, a bit. And you can see Abdilia, 11 attacks, 2 blocks. Boy, and that aces 10.
Oh, and a net touch violation there ends that run of very fun serves to watch. But it is now just a 4-point lead for the Air Force after that violation.
No, still, we cannot say this is, Philippine Air Force has a cushion, but if they can able to be consistent on their defense, I just mentioned defense.
Well, that has been the biggest issue of the Air Force here. And you have to wonder, if they do make it into the semifinals, how will they fix that as the stakes become higher and higher?
Well, Rafi Musuela is one of the very versatile and veteran players Philippine Air Force has.
Oh, and good blocking there.
So the challenge for Musuela is how fast he can be. Right? I guess if you're the libero, you need to be able to read, set plays quick and be able to go to the ball that fast.
Well, 16-12, that means we go to our second technical timeout with the Air Force with a 4-point lead.
Equalize lang tayo pag nakuha natin tong set na to. Wala tayong deposito. Pagtrabahuan yung bawat puntos. I-receive tayo, kailangan may pasa. Sige, kaya magduda.
Of their opponent will do.
Oh, and what a hit there coming from Gampong. That was mad.
Yeah, ang ganda ng pasok mo doon. Mads Gampong delivered again from that combination play. And every time na nabibigyan talaga siya ng set, he will surely get a point. Almost a point there, but Melgal able to save that one.
Oh, chance ball now. Ismail unable to get there. Too excited, jumped too early, unable to time that right.
I think he already knows what attack he will do. He's opting to drop the ball. Kaya lang, nauna siya talaga, and that was a difficult set for Fauzi Ismail.
Pecaña checks in now. First appearance in the game here. So let's see if he can make a difference. Good save there coming from the Air Force. They go back to Ismail, trying to get it off the blockers. Good job from Pecaña at the back. Mandal.
Those kind of attacks, pumapasok lang yan sa court ninyo kapag late ka or malayo ka sa net.
Well, 2-point lead for the Air Force. It has shrunk down there. Pecaña on the service line one more time. That was a reliable serve there. Ismail.
This is another smart attack from Ismail. Although he's not yet a veteran for Philippine Air Force. Alam niya kung sino yung blocker niya. And Villegas, mas maliit na blocker, so he has an advantage. Kaya he hit that down the line.
Oh, and that one just had too much on it. And you have to feel now, Air Force feel like they have the rhythm.
Where clearly nakikita natin yan, and that is the intimidation now for a PLDT.
Oh, almost an ace there, sending that free. Chance now from the wing, Umandal.
And again, medyo nagkaroon ng problema sa blocking ang Philippine Air Force.
Take a look at that one more time. Umandal, he's been coming up big here with his team trailing. Sumagaysay with the serve. Abdilia, no coverage at the back as the blocking does the job.
That's an easy read for the blockers of PLDT. Ang taas nung bola. So, ang bagal atakihin ng spiker, and that's how Josephat able to see that coming.
Oh, and an ace there as Air Force all of a sudden leaking in defense as they lead now by just 1 point. PLDT back in this game.
Ran, huwag mo kasama sa ginagawa. Ha? Jess, nasa harapan setter, ha? Gawa ng paraan. Hindi sayang yung puntos natin pag tayo nakaka-receive ng maganda.
Sayang kasi, lahat ng puntusan natin dapat, lalaki ng lamang natin. Tinan mo, nakakahabol sila. Kasi lahat na nakukuha natin, hindi natin nakukonvert.
Air Force trying to look to take advantage of the balls they actually do receive well. Unable to convert there in this rally by the PLDT home fiber. And if you're the Air Force, you want to make sure that you don't skip any steps here.
Definitely. But that's why they are slowly, trying to climb. But Ran Abdilia will not allow that.
Well, you're talking about not skipping any steps. Well, they definitely didn't there. Kim Malabunga, 11 points in the last game. He's been playing well today. Umandal. Boy, he had it.
It was weird that Joshua Umandal pointed to the blockers of Philippine Air Force. Sila daw ang nakahawak sa net. But it was him who committed a violation.
He actually pushed the net towards the blockers. So. Umandal making up for that.
Kung hindi uubra sa open, still, he was able to get that point from the opposite.
Boy, tight ball game here. Again, PLDT playing for their lives here. Air Force twice to beat in this quarterfinal matchup. On the other side, that is why tied ball game, 21-all.
Medyo bitin yung set na yon kay Ran Abdilia. Nasa likod siya, malayo pa sa net. So he could have, just given off an off-speed attack there.
Joshua Umandal, 11 attack points to his name. Oh, that would hurt. The service is out, and they give up a 1-point lead here. Air Force have the chance to really hammer this down. Timeout called on the floor.
Kalimutan mo na yun. Dikit pa rin yan. Panabla, kandang pasa para makadiskarte si Ronchet. Maganda o pangit ang receive, kailangan may coverage yung sa atake natin, ha? Pau. Take lang. Drop mo naman ang lambot. Sige, mabibilis sa palo. Kailangan natin. Kombinasyon ka lang. Pakita ka sa kanya, ha?
Magdaka-receive pa agad, ha?
Well, forget about the earlier mistake is the first instruction. Then another set to make sure that they make this competitive. It's still not beyond them here, 22-21. It's a 1-point lead for the Air Force.
You just hope that Abdilia gets his rhythm early on from the service area. That will be their advantage.
Oh, what a serve again, but great blocking for the Air Force as they are now just 2 points away from sending the PLDT home fiber packing.
Ang ganda ng basa doon ni Fauzi Ismail. And no coverage for PLDT. 5 na sila nasa likod niya.
That one's too long there. Too much excitement on that one.
And you can see the dismay on his face. He's hitting the ball from the service area. Not really a good way to commit an error. It's the crucial part of the set.
I was about to say that you would not have any other guy in the clutch there, but oh, what a hit from Gampong!
Third kill of Mads Gampong. Once from the open, twice from a combination play.
A chance to end it now. Gampong did a great job there to put them on match point. Good save there from the Air Force. PLDT still alive. Pablico cannot get past the blockers. Air Force take it 25-22. 3-1 to end the campaign of the PLDT home fiber power hitters.
Well, look at that last sequence. It was all about defense that really give life to Philippine Air Force in that last play. And, you know, they are able to sustain, get their momentum back, minimize their errors. It's a team effort for Philippine Air Force.
It was an amazing job from PLDT making Air Force sweat towards the end. But still, Air Force sent them home 3-1. We'll be right back with more analysis. After what was an epic tussle, the Philippine Air Force advanced to the semifinals after overcoming the PLDT 3-1. And with the best player of the game, Ran Abdilia. Ran, double-digit aces ka dito. What did you see every time you hit that service line? Kasi every time you got there, nakita ko, parang natakot na yung PLDT trying to receive yung balls mo.
Yun nga, masyado lang ako siguro nag-focus sa service ko, and malaking bagay kasi alam kong medyo nahihirapan sila sa service ko, kaya ayun siguro.
Well, obviously there's also a big problem in the team, at least medyo obvious at the very start na having a hard time receiving the ball first. Alam ko nagka-problema kayo in your libero situation, but how's the team adjusting going into the semifinal?
Ngayon, nag-a-adjust talaga kami sa receive namin, lalo na yung sa blockings namin. And ayun, masyado lang ako nag-focus, hindi ko na inisip yung atake ko. Yun.
Anong importante yung defense sa team nyo? Because at the end, it was defense that really won it for you guys.
Malaking bagay once na na-depensahan namin yung palo ng kalaban. So, ayun, meron naman kaming atake na kapalo.
Right, may babatian ka ba?
Okay, hello sa family ko, and hello sa inyong lahat. Sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta ng Strikers Dirt, mabuhay po tayong lahat.
And Abdilia, ladies and gentlemen, best player of the game. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And now we have the coach, Coach Dante. It was a difficult game, very close. Most of the sets were, but there is the glaring problem na yung receiving those first balls, especially from the serves. How do you plan to address that moving forward? Kasi naging problematic yan para sa inyo.
Wala, ang sinabi ko lang sa mga player ko, lalo sa setter namin na kahit ano dumating na receive dyan, gawa mo na lang para makapatay tayo. Kasi kung kung lagi pababayaan natin yung ngayong receive natin, kasi yung laging problema natin, kailangan natin mag-adjust eh. Sabi ko sa kanya na importante, makontrol mo pa rin yung game.
Coach ran double-digit aces in this game in particular. He had 10 aces today. Is it still a surprise seeing him come up with those numbers in big game situations like this?
Siyempre, actually, yun yung sinasabi namin sa player na. Lagi kong instruction dyan eh. Kailangan mag-focus tayo sa service team namin kasi doon nag-start yung game eh. Lalo na pag may service kami, siyempre yung blocking namin na malabas naman. Siyempre, deserving naman si Ran talaga. Throughout the practice talaga nagpo-focus sa service siya kasi everyday talaga na practice. Yan ang laging instruction sa kanila. Kailangan yung service team natin, makontrol natin.
Coach, really quickly here, semifinals coming up next. Biggest need for you guys to improve on?
Yung siyempre, yung pa rin naman eh. Kailangan talaga yung service team namin. Then, kasi yung sistema kasi sa laro namin,
nag-ano talaga sa service system namin kasi kung ang kalaban namin hindi makareceive, syempre nandiyan yung blocking namin. Kaya importante talaga mag-focus yung ano namin, yung team namin.
Alright, Coach, congratulations. Hope to see you again in your next game, Coach. Sheila, back to you.
Well, a hair-raising match for PLDT and Philippine Air Force as no one wants to throw in the towel. But congratulations to Coach Dante Alinsunuring for sealing a spot in the semifinals. You know, that's a close match, and at the first set pala, it's extended already. So what an exciting way to begin this game as exchanges of service aces were seen here between PLDT and the Philippine Air Force. Ranram Abilia doing the works for the Jet Spikers, and Mark Alfafara on the other hand for PLDT.
Sheila, we were talking about how we expected this game to go the distance, or if not be a very competitive and entertaining four-setter. And we saw traces of that here after our first set. Again, it was extended, and PLDT really came up big in the second frame to reply. They wanted to make sure that they extended their lives here in the conference.
You know, the issue for this one on the side of Philippine Air Force is that their defense was in this array, and that was clearly taking advantage of PLDT. Even their net defense, diba, napaka-disorganized, and that was how it ended for Philippine Air Force.
Well, in that second frame, errors crept into the game for the Air Force. But here in the third, their blocking came to the fore. Their aces really did not show up here in the third frame, but it was their defense that really pulled them through.
It was Kim Malabunga, this time the superstar for that set, as he did a lot of points coming from the blocks, and yun talaga ang nagbigay, well, that a lot of points for Philippine Air Force. You can see 5-0, and that they're able to minimize their error as well.
And here in the fourth frame, Ran Abilia coming up big, as well as Mads Gampong towards the end as well, giving us clutch points. But in the end, it was PLDT who was unable to weather the storm that was the Air Force.
Well, that's correct. Air Force displaying how experienced they are, especially at the crunch time. Aside from Mads Gampong, well, Fauzi and also stepped up together with Kim Malabunga to end that set on their favor.
Well, it was an epic clash here in the quarterfinals, and it's only set to become better and better. Here is a complete game summary there. Errors almost similar. Blocks, again, making the biggest difference here. And, you know, we mentioned that Air Force had 10 aces. Well, Ran Abilia had 10 aces. Those are all him. What an incredible individual performance.
That's correct. Well, moving forward, Philippine Air Force has to improve on their defense, particularly on their first ball. And that's, you know, how Rafi Musuela and Sumangi's role are very critical for Philippine Air Force.
Let's take a look now at the playoff bracket. Now that it is the Philippine Air Force Jet Spikers advancing, they await the winners of the series between Santa Elena and the IEM Phoenix Volley Masters. Should be a great contest with whoever they face there. Still, the road for the championship now is a bit clear with Signal and Air Force through to the semi-finals. Up next, Perpetual Altas going up against the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. It was set to be another titanic clash here on Spiker Surf. For all the hardworking men and women of One Sports, I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and for my partner Sheila Salesay, thank you very much for joining us.